The tale of the Magi, those wise and venerable travelers from the East, draws us into a story that is woven with elements of faith, hope, and the relentless quest for truth. As we journey through their encounters, we will explore how this narrative profoundly resonates through the tapestry of time, illustrating the universal human desire to seek meaning beyond the immediate and the tangible. The Magi, often referred to as the wise men, were no ordinary travelers. They hailed from lands rich in wisdom and knowledge, possibly from the ancient civilizations of Persia or Babylon. In the ancient world, these lands were centers of learning, where scholars and astrologers delved into the mysteries of the universe and sought to understand the intricate dance of celestial bodies. Educated and experienced, the Magi were the philosophers of their time, bridging the gap between scientific inquiry and spiritual understanding. These learned men were gifted in astrology, astronomy, and the ancient texts that spoke of prophecy and significance. In a world that often defined individuals by their social class or wealth, the Magi set themselves apart with their commitment to seeking knowledge. They were not drawn simply by curiosity. They were motivated by a sincere search for truth and enlightenment. Picture the Magi adorned in robes of rich fabric, each embroidered with symbols of astrological significance, carrying ancient manuscripts that spoke of prophecies written long before their time. A scene that evokes a sense of historical grandeur and scholarly pursuit. Their story begins with a cosmic event that would change the course of history. A light brighter than the rest, deeper than the darkened expanse of night. It was not just a celestial sign. It was a divine invitation beckoning them on a journey of colossal significance. The birth of a new king. What was it about this specific star that compelled them to embark on such a journey? In a moment of cosmic alignment, the heavens spoke in a language of light, igniting within them a passion that reverberated through their core. Star lore and astrology ran deep in their culture, as writing from Babylon hints at the belief that celestial events could portend significant earthly happenings. As they gazed upon the brilliance of the star, their educated minds entwined with their spiritual instincts, leading them to recognize the magnitude of what they witnessed. A king was to be born, the long-awaited Messiah of the Jews. And in that moment, they made a decision that would set them on an expedition of divine proportions. Gathering their belongings, the Magi prepared to leave their homeland. They selected companions to accompany them, forming a caravan equipped to navigate the treacherous and vast terrain ahead. The journey from the east to Judea was fraught with uncertainty, both in terms of the physical challenges they would face and the cultural milieu they would encounter. As they packed their camels with the gifts designated for the newborn king, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, each selection encapsulated profound significance. Gold, representing kingship, frankincense, embodying divinity, and myrrh, foreshadowing sacrifice and suffering. With each step they took, the Magi traversed deserts, climbed mountains, and crossed rivers under the vast blanket of the night sky. The stars guided their path, but the physical journeys were accompanied by a profound spiritual significance. Stories tell of the camaraderie and fellowship among the caravan, where discussions about destiny mingled with conversations about their lives back home. Each night, they gathered around campfires, sharing tales rich with intrigue, laughter, and philosophical discourse, moments that breathed life into this very human quest for meaning. As they moved closer to their destination, the atmosphere shifted. The closer they got, the more palpable their excitement became. Yet, with excitement often comes anxiety. They likely contemplated what they might encounter upon reaching Jerusalem, the heart of the Jewish faith and the center of political power. What perceptions would they face? And how would they be received in this new land? Upon arriving in Jerusalem, their presence sparked a mix of curiosity and apprehension. The city, bustling with travelers and merchants, brimmed with an undeniable energy, sepulchred with a history that spanned generations and built upon the fervent anticipation of an anticipated savior. The Magi sought an audience with King Herod, the ruling monarch, whose reputation was synonymous with intimidation and tyranny. Can you envision the scene as the Magi entered the royal court? Dressed in their traditional garb, they stood tall among the lavish adornments and elevated power dynamics of the ruling elite. They, in stark contrast, represented what was often considered other, the seekers from afar who spoke a different language and pursued knowledge rather than dominion. The hall was alive with whispers as those in attendance contemplated the Magi's purpose. Was it a diplomatic mission, or did they truly seek something more profound? Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? The question hung in the air like a fragile thread connecting their quest to the prophecies tightly woven into the fabric of Judaism. Herod's expression darkened, and unease spread through every corner of the grand hall. He was no stranger to whispers of prophecy. They pricked at the crown upon his head, making him acutely aware of his precarious position. Summoning his advisors, Herod sought answers about this baby and the prophecies surrounding him. His advisors, knowledgeable scholars of their own, confirmed what the Magi had spoken. A new king was destined to be born in Bethlehem. This knowledge fed Herod's fears as he contemplated the threat of losing power. His grip on the throne now appeared tenuous and challenged by an infant. Now, the clever threads of deception began to weave themselves. Herod feigned interest in the Magi's quest, portraying a facade of reverence, asking them to return with news of the child's location, claiming he wished to worship the child. But beneath that glimmer of interest lay a darker motive: fear, jealousy, and the desire for control. The Magi, deeply attuned to the cosmic and spiritual truths, found themselves entangled in a world where the light of their quest clashed with the shadow of Herod's intentions. And so, they resumed their journey to Bethlehem, hearts filled with hope, yet weighed down by the unsettling encounter. The star reappeared, its brilliance piercing through their concerns. Their hearts must have flooded, the anticipation building with every mile. The promise of witnessing a miracle grew ever closer. As they approached Bethlehem, the star began to guide them with greater intensity, reflecting the culmination of their quest. The once bustling streets dimmed as the evening descended, the glow of the star illuminating the path that led them to a humble stable. Here lay the child, swaddled in cloth and cradled in a manger, a scene starkly juxtaposed against the royal expectations they had imagined. Upon entering, their hearts gasped in unison. Beneath the rustic setting of farm animals and straw, they beheld the divine incarnate. This moment, so simple, yet so breathtakingly profound, enveloped them in a sacred ambience. They witnessed the union of humanity and divinity at its purest, a child embodying hope and redemption for the entire world, resting peacefully in the arms of his mother, Mary, who radiated love and grace. Now picture the moment as the Magi knelt before Jesus. They offered their gifts, each one intricately tied to the essence of the King they recognized in this child. The gold sparkled, representing kingship. The frankincense wafted through the air, a symbol of the divine, and the myrrh foreshadowed the ultimate sacrifice this child would one day make. With every offering, they paid homage to the miracle of grace and redemption. The Magi, through their gifts, affirmed the destiny that lay ahead for the Savior. In that moment, what emotions must have coursed through them? Awe, humility, and gratitude, blended as they basked in the divine presence. They were not just offering material gifts. They were granting their reverent acknowledgement of the divine plan, unfolding before their very eyes. It is said that in this sacred encounter, they were transformed, forever changed by witnessing the birth of hope. Yet as dawn approached, so too did dreams filled with warnings. The Magi received a vision, cautioning them against returning to Herod. This revelation forged a moment of spiritual clarity, highlighting that true wisdom lies in the wisdom of the heart, protecting the divine purpose, and living by faith over fear. The Magi chose to alter their course, stepping away from the dark shadow of Herod, and instead embracing the light that guided them from the east. Departing with hearts emboldened by their experiences, they returned home via a different route. Imagine their conversations on the journey back. Echoes of laughter blending with deep discussions about the nature of their encounter, the gravity of the moment, and the impact it would have on their beliefs and lives. They became ambassadors of hope, sharing their story, infusing the communities they once knew with newfound light and purpose. The legacy of the Magi extends far beyond that singular moment in Bethlehem. Their journey exemplifies the call to seek truth and meaning amidst overwhelming uncertainty. In our lives, we often find ourselves in situations that challenge our faith and resolve. Yet, the spirit of the Magi urges us to press on, to remain open to that guiding star in our lives. They remind us that genuine wisdom stems from humility and that our search for understanding is intrinsically intertwined with our capacity to love and connect with those around us. The story's importance cannot be overstated. It reminds us that every step toward kindness, every quest for knowledge, and every moment of vulnerability brings us closer to understanding the divine. In a world filled with challenges, where fear threatens to subdue hope, the Magi's journey shines as a beacon, beckoning us to embrace curiosity and compassion. When we consider the gifts given to Jesus, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, it is essential to appreciate their symbolism, not just within the context of that time, but also in our personal lives today. The gifts represented faith, wisdom, and the recognition of a divine mystery that answers the longing of the human heart. Just as the Magi traveled to honor a king, we too are called to honor the divine spark within ourselves and those around us. In reflecting on this enlightening journey of the Magi, let us draw parallels to our lives today. What are the stars that guide you? In the sometimes mundane rhythms of daily life, are we conscious of divine invitations, urging us toward exploration, connection, and growth? Each of us has the opportunity to identify our own guiding stars, those dreams, motifs, and values that inspire us to rise each day with purpose. What does it mean for you to follow your star? Is it a calling to offer your wisdom and gifts to those in need? Is it reaching out to a friend in distress, embarking on a new career path, or pursuing a passion that has lain dormant? Embracing the spirit of the Magi instills courage to take a chance, to step away from comforts, and to journey forth with faith. It reminds us that discovery often resides on the other side of uncertainty, and that we may find true meaning in our willingness to seek. As we conclude this exploration of the Magi's journey, we find ourselves called to reflect upon their legacy, not merely as ancient scholars, but as timeless symbols of hope and illumination. Their story transcends epochs and resonates through the corridors of history, inviting us to seek, to embrace light in our lives, and to honor the sacredness that connects us all. In the ever-spiraling nature of existence, each life carries significance. The Magi remind us that when guided by wonder, humility, and love, we can intertwine our stories with those of others, creating a beautiful tapestry that honors both our journeys and the journeys of those who came before us. As we celebrate the timeless legacy of the Magi, let us open our hearts to the truths that beckon us forward, allowing their radiant light to guide our paths. May we recognize the divine in each moment, seek wisdom in every encounter, and carry the unyielding spirit of curiosity forward into our tomorrows. Let us strive to honor the light that resides within us and those we meet, building bridges of love that unite, uplift, and inspire generations to come. Ultimately, the journey of the Magi is not just an ancient story. It is a living narrative that continues to inspire all of humanity. It embodies the relentless quest for truth, the transformative power of faith, and the enduring legacy of hope. As stewards of this story, may we embrace the calling to be seekers of light in a world that sometimes feels overshadowed. Together, let us keep the spirit of the Magi alive, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge and the cultivation of love are the truest gifts we can offer to one another in this vast, interconnected universe.